And thank you, Dan. Well, it's one of the largest and most ambitious research initiatives ever undertaken in the state to better identify and treat people at risk of having a heart attack and to potentially stop it before they even ever have one. With me, Dr. Brett Muhlstein with Intermountain Healthcare is here to explain the groundbreaking study that we're talking about. So tell us then what exactly this study is and yes, what it was.
Well, the CORE-CAL study is a randomized trial of which people sign up and then randomize to one of two different ways to determine what their risk is of having a heart attack in the future and whether or not it's high enough so that they should begin treatment, mostly with cholesterol lowering statin therapies. And there's a standard way that is now recommended by the American Heart Association, which just uses cholesterol levels and then your age and your gender and a variety of other characteristics, and then it calculates a risk of what your chances are of having a heart attack and having coronary artery disease in the next 10 years. And that's the way we do it now. But you can use a coronary calcium scan, which is a CT scan of the heart, which can detect calcium in the coronary arteries, which are the arteries that feed the heart, and when they get blocked, you get a heart attack. And the amount of calcium in there correlates with how much plaque there is already built up. So if you have an elevated coronary calcium score, you are not at risk of heart disease, you have heart disease.
Wow, okay.
And so lots of studies have demonstrated that that is perhaps a better way to say what is your risk of a heart attack, because you already do or don't have heart disease by your coronary calcium score. But we don't know in the long run whether that's a better way to manage patients. And so this is a large trial because these are otherwise healthy people. So you have to wait a while for them to have heart attacks. And so 9,000 people throughout Utah are being invited to participate if they are patients at Intermountain Healthcare, anywhere within Intermountain Healthcare. And then,
so you're still taking people on at this point to be a part of this study?
And they have to be invited to be in the study.
Oh, okay, they're invited.
And then they will receive a letter. And in that letter will be a sort of a golden ticket, which says, you have been chosen to participate in this study if you want to. And if you want to, log on to the website, corecalstudy.com. And anybody can log on, but you can't actually join the study unless you're invited, because we want it to represent all otherwise healthy people throughout Utah. And then you will be randomized, if you sign up, to either get a scan, which will be free if you're in the study, or just a cholesterol level, and then they will recommend whether or not you should take a statin or not based on the scan, which is the new way, or the old standard way, which is your cholesterol levels and your other risk factors.
So tell us then, we only have about a minute left, and there is so much that we could talk about with this. You have to be invited to take part, but what is this study hoping to do for those that have risk of heart disease or have heart disease but aren't aware of it yet? What's the overall goal of this?
Well, the overall goal is to determine whether or not using this coronary calcium scan, which is not standard of care yet, and insurance companies actually don't pay for it, whether or not it's worth it. And if it's worth it and will help us more effectively, which we obviously think it does, or we wouldn't do the study, more effectively pick the right patients to get the right treatment to prevent heart attacks and have the least number of patients who don't need it taking it. And that's what it will determine.
This is absolutely fascinating. And again, as we said, a groundbreaking study that hopefully leads to, yes, this outcome. Thank you so much for your time today, Doctor. We really appreciate it.